How's it going, guys? Bryan is RazorTV and you're on R.age, and R.age is where we tell you what is all the rage or what should be. And right now all the rage is Danny Choo.
Hello.
How do you like to put that way? Yeah?
I'm very humble.
Who is Danny Choo and what do you do?
Okay, so I'm originally born and raised in the UK. When I graduated from university, I joined Japan Airlines. Then I came to Japan and basically working on the internet. I spent some time at Amazon website manager, Microsoft product manager, and so basically working in the internet most of my career. And also in my spare time, I run a website called DannyChoo.com, which basically focuses on Japanese subculture and Japanese culture in general. So currently there are roughly 2 million unique users a month, and they generate roughly around 20 million page views. Yeah.
So you're British,
Yep.
Chinese origins,
Yep.
but fixated on like, is it cool to call it fixation though?
Yeah, fixation's okay.
Fixation.
Yeah.
What about on J culture?
That's right. Yeah.
So why?
For many years of my teenage life, I was like lost. I really didn't know what to do in life.
Yeah.
And I basically took courses because my friends took them.
Yeah.
And so I really didn't know what to do. And it wasn't until I discovered that I was really passionate about Japanese culture.
Yeah.
So it started off when I got myself a Sega Mega Drive, and I wanted to find out more about it. So I went to a Japanese bookshop in London, got a few mags. I couldn't read anything. I didn't have any Chinese education at all. So I started like learning Japanese on my own. And
how old were you at this time?
God, how old was I?
5, 6?
18, 19, something like that.
Okay.
Something, still in my teens.
Okay. So what is the first game you've ever played in your entire life?
Ever played?
Yeah, like you mentioned like the Sega Mega Drive, right?
So actually before that, I had a Commodore 64.
Oh, nice.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So I had one of those, and like games, they came on cassette tapes.
Yeah.
And they took like 5 minutes to load.
Yeah.
So the first game was, I don't know, maybe 1942. But on the Sega Mega Drive, it was probably, I can't remember now.
Sonic, right? Probably had to be Sonic.
Yeah, I had one of those Sonic games. But it's probably one of those more obscure Japanese titles.
Like an RPG.
No, there's a shooting game called, I think it was called Darius. So these days, what I'm finding is that when I speak to people of my generation, we love talking about games.
You guys don't play
But we don't play them.
No, you don't?
We don't get time to play as much games as we would like.
I wonder how bizarre it looks. Like we're just having like this straight conversation. But we're doing this all the time.
Yeah.
Lifting our hands and
Every time I go back to the bookshop, I would see like something cool. So one of the things which I started taking interest in, being a young growing lad, was idols, which are basically Japanese females who specialize in looking cute.
They call them kawaii, right?
Kawaii, yes,
cute,
idols. Yeah. So there was one who I was particularly fixated on, and I wanted to know more about her. So I needed
who
to
was she?
Her name was Nishida Hikaru.
Okay. Okay, so that's like your first love, so to speak.
Yeah. And I needed to learn more about her, so I needed to learn more Japanese. So basically, I saved the money every year to basically go to Japan, so I could absorb the language and culture.
The deeper meaning behind it, like the sense of displacement. Maybe?
Yeah, I'm not too sure if there's any deeper meaning. It's something which I basically felt passionate about. I love the games. I love the attention to detail they pay in their presentation of their products. The idols were like very cute as well. I think that was a major part.
As an outsider looking in, first impression
Of
Japan?
Japan, yeah.
Yeah, you were saying it's totally different from London.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's totally different, and it's like very clean, very organized, and it felt like I was in space.
Yeah.
I remember walking along in Yokohama, and they had these like lights like in the floor, like, and it was lighting up, and it was very Blade Runner for me.
I need the old Blade Runner. This is a bad one.
Yeah.
So it was all that I imagined it and more.
There could be like a Danny Choo equivalent in Japan going like, you know what, I want to go to Britain or
Yeah, I mean, obviously the saying, the grass is green on the other side, and you know, in some cases when you get over, it's not really that green. But in Japan, it's really green for me.
Okay, I want to know more about what you do, like your job, your company,
Yes.
your website.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Where do we start?
Where do we start?
Let's start with DannyChoo.com.
I love the internet. It's a fantastic place. I wasn't brought up with the internet.
Yeah.
And so basically I see the internet as a field of money. It's like a big rice paddy,
Yep.
and you just need to know where to plant those seeds. So after I left Microsoft, I set up my own company, Mirai Inc. And basically what we do is our main focus is to deliver consumer-generated e-commerce platforms. So our main product is Mirai Gaia. So users generate the content, and my clients, they can sell stuff to those users, basically. So they can sell their goods and services.
Okay, so maybe you can tell the guys what you're doing in Singapore.
So I'm here to eat good food, and
why not?
also have some good foods, and occasionally have some good foods. And
Maybe a little bit of good food, yeah?
just a little bit.
bit.
Just a little bit.
Why not?
So I was giving a presentation on the Otaku subculture in DannyChoo.com, and I'm also giving a workshop for Animax.
Yep.
So I'll be giving some blogging tips. Well, basically going through my learnings and recommendations.
What is Otaku?
Otaku.
Okay, Otaku means actually like, I mean,
Yeah, it's difficult to sum up in one
I
word.
heard it's called fanboy, or like someone who's like really into a certain culture.
Yeah. So the otaku can be roughly translated into the word geek.
Oh yeah.
So like just in English, you have like different meanings, like a computer geek, or a gadget geek, or a game geek. But in Japanese,
Which are you?
I'm all of those, I
Okay,
guess.
all right.
But the most common meaning of the word otaku in Japanese is used to refer to a group of people called the Akiba Kei Otaku, which basically means Akihabara style. So Akihabara is a district in Tokyo which originally sold electronics, but along the line they started to sell like PC parts,
Okay.
and along with those parts they started to sell dating simulation games. So it's a place which sells like games like anime, Japanese cartoons, manga, Japanese comics, figurines.
Yep.
And these Akiba Kei Otaku, they live and breathe everything that's Akihabara.
What is one thing you can tell me or anyone who hasn't been to Japan? What's the things to look for, or sort of like stay away maybe?
Yeah, it depends on what you're after. I mean, so there are like folks who are like they're after the otaku stuff.
Yep.
So if you're after otaku stuff, you need to go to Akihabara, this district which I was talking about. If you are looking for taking photos, taking in the scenes, then you go to places like Harajuku,
Yeah, Harajuku.
which is like a fashion district. Lots of young females like dressed up.
How are they dressed though?
They are dressed up as there's a style of clothing called goth lolly, which is usually black and white and frilly, and like some like dark makeup.
What is the common misconception of the Japanese culture or Japanese people in general?
Yeah, so there's one thing I hear very often, and that's people think like the Japanese are strange.
Yeah.
So I mean, they are strange folks, but it's just that
It's relative, right? Strange is relative.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, they have a very unique culture, and for like the otaku subculture, which I think is very interesting and very normal to me, people outside of Japan would like think it's very strange. So just go to Japan with an open mind, and you'll enjoy it more.
You can correct me if I'm wrong, but what do you think Japanese culture is so sexually charged? You know, in almost everything. You know,
yes.
From the comic books to the video games to the dressing to the movies.
Yes, yes.
There's always like a common theme. It's debaucherous. Almost perverted in a way.
Yeah. I don't know whether that's like everything. I mean, it's. I think it depends on culture. Like when I was in Germany, they had like big posters which showed off lots of flesh around the chest area of like women.
The upper torso region.
Yes, upper torso. And like in Japan, you see that on ads, like on the trains, and like in posters as you walk down the streets. But an interesting thing is that what's the word? Japanese. I think they call it prawn on the internet. It's PR0N.
Okay,
that's another word for
like lead speak, right?
Yeah, kind of.
O-N?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Some people tell me it's another word for porn.
Okay.
But that's what some people say. So apparently that's censored. So it's quite interesting that they have this culture which is very open in the stuff that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's still censored. So
it's always like you get a very androgynous male lead and out of this world. Developed.
I think that's because. So one of the reasons I think is because that sort of stuff sells.